Hey there, Moonbeams, and welcome to my studio. I always forget to tell you my name, which is Emily, so if you've never been here before, welcome, welcome. I'm super glad that you're here. And today we're going to be spending just a little quiet time kind of creating this little daisy painting. My birthday is Tuesday. I said it was Monday during the last live, which is fine, but I'm all kinds of whacked out on what the date is. But daisies are it's my birth month flower. And I've done daisies before, but it's one of my favorite flowers. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of recreate those again and just create a super simple and just not very complicated, super laid back painting for today. I didn't have a chance to record a video in advance, so I just wanted to be able to hang out with you again and paint together. So I did share my drawing over on Patreon, and the link is in the description box of this video. If you'd like to get that, it's completely free. You can print it out and then transfer it to your own paper. And oh, hi Valerie, hi Tina, welcome, welcome. Valerie says, hey there, would I consider illustrating your children's book? Why don't you email me if you can? It's moonbeamjellyfish@gmail. I'd love to chat with you about that some more, so please, please, please do. And both of you, welcome in, and anyone who else is here and wants to just kind of be quiet but participate, that would be great. I'm gonna go over my supplies. I'm gonna switch to for just a second so you can see my desk. This was done, I think this is cold pressed paper. This very well maybe just be a piece of cardstock. I'm not sure. It was just an extra piece of paper I wanted to practice on really quick. I did not like how it turned out or how the paint interacted with this. So this is cold pressed paper, watercolor paper from Arches, 9x12, which is my favorite paper. So I'm gonna use that instead. And I'm using my Lang watercolors. Shout out to the Lang. It's one of my favorite watercolors. Tina, I know you love them too. So those are what I'm going to be using. Use anything you have. Don't feel like you have to use the Lang like I do. You can use your favorite set, whatever that may be. And I can tell you the brushes I'm going to be using as we move along. But again, don't feel like you need to use exactly the brushes that I'm using. I do generally choose my brush for a reason based on the size of the area that I'm painting. But if you have any questions, feel free to just comment with those, because this is actually a live tutorial. I don't usually do that. Usually it's just like a sketchbook hangout. So please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Oh, perfect, Valerie. That sounds great. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to switch my screen again. I'm not going to be on camera because I'm going to have the drawing on camera, but I'll pop in, kind of see how everybody's doing. So let's see here. There we go. So I wanted to keep this, even though I'm going to kind of change the painting that I'm going to do during this live. The drawing's the same. I'm just going to it's going to look a little different because of the paper that I'm using, which is fantastic if you ask me. So yeah, I want this to be super, super, super loose. So I'm going to use purple again. I know daisies are white, but I just like, it's a very loose style, very illustrative, and so I'm kind of using the purple as the shadows. I've done them before with using blue, but I'm just changing it up. So feel free to do any colors that you want. I do have water off to the side. I already have some of my paints activated. Grab a little bit more yellow over here. And I'm going to be using, out of this set, it's lemon yellow for the center as well as cadmium yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the centers. Rinse my brush a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and get them wet first. And I'm using my number 6 Princeton. So I'm just going to get it a little bit wet. I'll just get them all wet, or at least a couple of them wet first. I still have a little bit of yellow on my brush, which is totally fine. And then I'm going to go in with the lemon yellow first. And I'm just kind of going, I'm not necessarily covering all of it, I'm just kind of just barely touching my brush. Add those, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pick some of that up because I didn't want it quite that yellow yet. Got a towel in my hand, I'm going to dab some of that off. And then go in with a little bit more, just along the edges. You can also use leave like a little white area if you want. I'm gonna bring in a white Posca marker at the end, and I may end up also bringing a liner back in. I decided to, this is kind of more like a watercolor wash and ink, I guess, if you will, because since I inked it in first, I wanted to make sure you could see the drawing because I know that can be an issue. So, and I'm going to go in with just a little bit of that cadmium just around the edge a little bit. If I can pick some paint up. Just to kind of deepen right where those petals would join. Is anyone joining me today with this project, or are you just hanging out working on something different? I'd love to know. Of course, there will be a replay, so if you don't do it today, it'll be there. It'll be in my live section on YouTube. And I'm sorry for my squeaky chair if you can hear it. I need to get some, what, WD-40 or something, I think. Anyway. Okay. Rinse my brush. And I'm not going to worry about the fact that this is still a little bit wet. It's not like super wet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding a little bit of purple. I see just a little bit more I want to erase here. Whenever I draw onto any watercolor paper, but especially cold pressed. Oh, Valerie, you're at work. Well, thanks for joining me. Anyways, I hope that you'll be able to draw this later. And like I said, feel free to download the drawing at on my Patreon. And manuscript sent. Awesome, awesome. I will look at that and get back to you for sure. But as I was saying, I use a knead eraser instead of like harshly erasing because it can mess up the paper, especially like a cold press, because it's bumpy, so there's like a tooth to it. So if you erase too much, it can mess up the fiber. So just FYI. So I usually just use one of these, and you can just dot like that, or I will kind of roll it across the paper. So just a little side note there for you. And okay, so now I'm going to go in with a I did not, in the picture on the screen, I did not put enough water. I did not make it a wash. It was way too intense, way too creamy. I want it to be a wash, so it needs to be a lot of water instead of a lot of paint. And I'll show you, if you do go down on your paper or put paint down on your paper, let's see, if it is too dark, like I think that's too dark. I might try to zoom in. Then you can just bring in some water and then just spread that around a little bit and see that it did bleed a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Hold on one second. Maybe. I'm not used to this camera yet. Oh, here we go. Hold on one sec. There we go. That's a little bit better, I think. Okay. So the yellow did bleed right here, so you can just pick that up a little bit or dab a little bit off. And you don't have to make the... Hi Marla, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining today. So I'm gonna get it wet first, I think. I'm gonna do just a couple at a time because I really don't want it to be very dark. And then I'm gonna spread it just a little bit throughout the petal, keeping most of the purple. And you could use blue, you could use Payne's gray, you could just use gray if you want to. I'm gonna keep most of the concentrated, not concentrated, but the darkest part near the center, because I feel like it would be darkest there, and then maybe add a little bit more where the petals are overlapping. So I do like to get it wet first. I feel like I didn't rinse my brush out. I feel like I can just make it a little looser when I do that. And I do like to only do a couple of petals at a time so that it doesn't dry first. Pick up a little bit of paint. And then I'm just touching the tip of my brush and letting that paint kind of diffuse however it wants to. And I can go back in a little while and add a little bit more shadow. Right now I'm just kind of, remember watercolors are layers. So I'm just kind of getting a little bit of color down. And I don't want it to be super dark because, like I said, daisies are white. Of course, nothing is pure white. Maybe snow, and I don't even know if that's pure white, but Marla, what are you working on, hun? And this one right here, I'm gonna add just a little bit more right along where this petal is, because there would be a little bit of a shadow cast right there. But then I can pick up a little bit of that in the center if I want to. And then just add a little bit more. Tina, are you painting this too, or are you working on something else? You're on your, oh, Marla's on her third sketchbook, Wild Things. Ooh, that sounds fun. Have you posted any of that on Instagram? Was that you? I think it was you. I like what you've posted, if that was you in your sketchbook before. Valerie says, I'm signing in employees in tanker trucks. Oh, at an ethanol plant. Okay. I know you said you were working, so it's cool that you can still join in, say hello for a little bit. Now I'm just going back in a little bit to add a little bit more of a shadow. I just have a little bit of paint on my brush and I'm just barely kind of touching the tip. You have to go. Okay, your relief is here early. Well, thanks for tuning in for a little bit, Valerie. I shall talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. You can dab off a little bit if you feel like you got too much, but it was still a little bit wet. So, which is why I like to do the kind of the wet on wet. And that way I can kind of go back in with a little bit more paint and it'll still diffuse naturally, which if you've been here before, you know I like that. So I'm just going to keep kind of working my way around, doing the exact same steps. And remember, if you have any questions, trying to paint the lady, but it's not like yours. That's okay. That's perfect. Oh yes, posting on Instagram ASAP. Love it, love it, love it. I love when you try things that are kind of like mine, but make it your own. I love that. Love it, love it. I just posted a little short earlier today, or a little bit ago. I was able to like sit outside today and enjoy. It's like 70 something today. It's a little scary, but it's so warm already. But trying to enjoy it anyways. I can tell when I don't spend a lot of time out in nature. I feel really chaotic. I'm a Taurus, which is an earth sign, so I can tell if I haven't grounded or connected with Mother Nature. So it was really nice to be able to sit outside. So if you think you get a little bit more paint, you can also just dab it off, because again, I don't want it to be necessarily fully purple, but this is super loose and illustrative. This is not, obviously not a realistic, this is just very stylized and just a super fun, it's supposed to be a super fun and easy painting for everybody, hopefully. Hello, Rosie Gnome, which is my mother. Hi, Mama. You're so sweet. Oh, speaking of sweet, I have to show you guys. My mom is so cute. So she's been crocheting. If you've been here before, you know that I'm going to change the view for a second. I am going to change it to this. See if I can, I'm going to show you this adorable jellyfish that my mom made for me for my studio. I love it so much. This is Mira, my studio companion. I love her, love her. So she's been learning how to knit these, or crochet these adorable little creatures. And she gave me this little mushroom today. It's so cute. I love it so much. He's so chunky. So he's sitting on my desk right now. He's so cute. Oh goodness, so let me get back to my art. Too funny. Oh, Marla, you're so sweet. Okay, Marla asks, when do I usually have a live chat on YouTube? Usually my chats are, let me go back to my face for a second. Usually my chats are on Thursdays. That's where I'm kind of trying to move forward. The reason I'm having one today is because I didn't record a video or edit a video for today, and today's my regular posting schedule, and I wanted to stay on that whole thing, but because I was gone on my trip, and then this week I've just been kind of resting and kind of playing catch up, so I wanted to be kind of gentle with myself as I get back into the groove. So I still wanted to paint with you guys, which is why I decided to go live today. So let me go back to my painting. I'll have my face up for just a little bit. Oh, Tina says, Rosie, the mushy is so cute, which it is. Yes, it is. Marla says, lovely, which it is. It's so cute. Love it, love it. All right, moving right along. Let me know if you want me to put the picture back up in the corner, because I can totally do that. I just thought I'd kind of have my face on too sometimes. Maybe I'll switch it up a little bit. I know my mom, I'm so proud of her because she's stuck with the mushroom. She was having some difficulty, but she stuck with it, and it's so friggin' cute. My mom's the sweetest lady in the whole wide world. Some of that. And if you get like a harsh line, it's called scrubbing. You can just kind of go back and forth, and then it'll kind of, if you catch it fairly quickly, you can kind of soften the edge up. There we go. And I'm going to add just a little bit more. And I'm not worried about if I leave a little bit of white areas, because again, I'm not trying to completely color it in. If it does a little bit, as long as it's light enough, I don't mind. And again, I'm going to go kind of right by the petal, if it's behind, just to darken it up a little bit, because there would be a little bit of a shadow. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. Like I said, at least there's a replay. Let's see. Oh, hi Pam, you're new here. Can I talk a bit, how did I learn how to make lives here, and how long have I been doing them? I have been doing lives, I think this is my 3rd month maybe. And I learned by watching a lot of YouTube videos and kind of learning. I use OBS to set everything up, and then I can stream to YouTube. And I like to use OBS because it actually records my video, so I could break it up, or I have it myself saved to my computer. I have done a YouTube lives just through my phone. I can't save it to my computer when I do it that way. It's not downloaded, but it's super easy if you don't mind, and you just hit the live button if you have a YouTube channel. I think you have to make sure and verify your YouTube account, but it's pretty easy. I say that, although I have had issues before with the sound not working, or it being blurry, or like, there's always been issues, and everybody's been super fun and super patient, which has been really super nice. And yeah, I decided to start doing lives because I wanted to connect with people a little bit more and kind of grow our community and be able to talk to each other. And I've been having a lot of fun. So it's been great. I do sketchbook lives on Thursdays. I have a Moonbeam sketchbook guild where I give prompts and we can work in sketchbooks together, or you can work on whatever you want. It's fun to be able to talk with each other. So yeah, I'm super excited that you're here, and welcome. If you weren't here at the beginning, my name is Emily, and I'm so glad that you're here. Let me know if you have any more questions. Do you have your own YouTube channel? Or are you thinking about getting started with a YouTube channel? Let me know. I'm here to help for sure. There's been growing pains, but I'm super glad. Oh, you like my style. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Very, very much. I definitely like the illustrative style, I guess. But I've been influenced as well by like Tam from Willowing Arts. I love her. Karen Campbell from Awesome Art School. Jenny Mano, I like her. And, oh, what's her name? I have one of her paint palettes. I can't think of the lady's name. Oh, Jane Davenport. As well as many other artists. But I've learned from them along the way. I'm a self-taught artist. I took two drawing classes at a local college. But everything else I've just taught myself and watched videos and trial and error. There are definitely drawings and paintings that will never see the light of day, but I think that's everybody, especially when you're learning. So, what kind of art do you do, Pam? Let's see, you just started, a YouTube channel, but just started your research on lives and you're a bit shy, so you don't know how that would work out. I also, let me tell you, when I first started, I was not on camera. It was just my artwork. I did not show myself. It took me, I don't know, several times before I decided to kind of show myself. I got a new camera for Christmas, so then it gave me an opportunity to, maybe I've been, I don't know, I've been doing lives for a little bit, but it gave me an opportunity to be able to show my face and my artwork. Like I said, I still struggle. It can be weird just talking to a camera, but it helps obviously when people are here, because then it just, I don't feel like I'm talking into the ether, which is very nice. But it's practice. I record videos all the time as well, so I also have gotten a little bit more used to just talking into the camera for those, even though they're recorded and not live, but that helps as well. So it's just, people are super friendly and very patient, so don't feel like it has to be perfect, because it never is. It never is. I'll watch on my playback, sometimes I'll watch the videos just to be able to learn if there's things I should change or update. Like last video, I kept hitting my microphone, so I moved my microphone for this video, and hopefully I don't hit it, because that drives me crazy, and I'm sure it drives you guys crazy too. How's everybody doing with your painting or whatever you're working on? I definitely like this one better. I'm gonna show the other one again. The one on the screen, I feel like it just got a little bit too purple, and the really harsh lines and stuff, because again, I was using the wrong paper. Okay, Pam says, I took some watercolor classes and acrylic painting, needle felting, but I like watercolor the best. Your English is not perfect. Oh, you're from Brazil, and your videos are all in Portuguese so far. That's cool. Well, welcome, Brazil. That's pretty neat. I've always wanted to learn needle felting. I think that I love the things you can make with it. It's so cute. So that's really cool. What's your YouTube channel, Pam? Because I will follow you. For sure. And what you said, watercolor. Yeah, it took me a little while to fall in love with watercolor, because it can be quite intimidating, I think, when you're first starting. And I made plenty of mistakes, and I'm still learning all the time. I don't pretend to say that I'm some expert or anything, but I feel like if we're not learning and growing, then what's the point, I guess. Let's see. Oh, Tina says, I didn't sketch mine out first, so I'm working on drawing it right now. Awesome. And, Marla's enjoying, my painting and talking. Welcome. Marla, you're from Brazil too? That is so cool. I love that. How exciting to have people all the way from there. That is so cool. I love that. Love it, love it. Oh, Tina says, yes, share your channel name, Pam, because we will follow you. Tina and I know each other from another art group. I'm pretty sure it was from Awesome Art School. And we became friends, and now we art and talk and share what we're working on, and it's been really fun. I do have a Facebook under Moonbeam Jellyfish as well. I'm not sure if you can, I think you might be able to share your artwork there too under like one of my posts, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Oh, Marla's been living in California for the last 40 years. Cool, cool. Oh, Pam says, oh, the account that she's using right now is your channel. But honestly, she just talks about her life so far and shows recent drawings, creating the courage to record and share the process of the paintings. Hey, we all have to start somewhere. For sure, for sure. I will definitely follow you. I'll look you up after this live. Yes. Yep, Tina. Awesome Art School. That's what I thought. Super, super amazing community over there. I always suggest checking out Karen. I love her so much. She is so fun. So fun. Yes, Tina says, we will give you support while you are finding that courage. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely would like to support you on your journey. For sure. Oh, Pam's in Boston. You were in Colorado for your first year. Tina lives in Colorado. I hope it's okay that I said that. Oh, Marlis says she will follow you too. So see, you just got 3 followers just from this video alone, and I freaking love that. That is what I was hoping for when I made this channel. A way for us to connect and find other like-minded people like us. I love that. Yes, Tina lives in Colorado. I hope to get out to visit her someday. I didn't know you were a nanny, Tina. That's cool. I just watched The Housemaid. Let me know if anybody's seen that. That was interesting. Speaking of nannies, kind of. It was a pretty good movie. Pretty good, pretty good. Yes, you hope I visit soon. Me too. Like I said, I'm going to start stuffing an envelope. Maybe I can get out there for Samhain, Halloween. That would be so friggin' cool. It's a long train ride, but it'll be worth it. Because as I said the other day, I don't like to fly. Well, I wouldn't want to fly right now. What a freaking shit show. You have not seen. Oh, there's a Spinal Tap too. I didn't even know that. Marla says, Emily, thanks for letting us meet other YouTubers. I am wonderful. Oh, you're so sweet. And I'm so happy to be a spot where people can meet each other. I love that so much. That warms my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And Pam says, nice to meet you, ladies. And she's asking if everyone paints as well. So you can answer that in the chat as well. And Tina says, hells yes, we will get our Halloween on. Yes, we will. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'll have to come up with a super amazing costume. That's not a witch, as I said the other day. That's all I feel like I ever dress up as. And I have lots of interests, so I think I could branch out a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm just picking up some of that paint, going in with a little bit more water, and then a little dab. Oh boy, I got my window open and somebody's doing something in their yard. I may have to close the window. Let me know if you can hear it and if it's loud. I love that I can have my window open. That's fabulous. Marla says, I can't fly because, oh, I have cold on oxygen 24/7, and she does paint in watercolors. Does that mean that you're just on oxygen? You're on oxygen 24/7? That would be scary flying for sure, I would think. Tina says that she paints watercolors, acrylic, and learning to draw a bit. She likes to try everything, and she's getting into collage and mixed media and junk journals now. I've seen a lot of her art. Her junk journals are really cool. I've actually started thinking about maybe doing art journals, I guess, I'm thinking about starting that as well. Pam says, I don't hear anything from my window. Oh, you don't hear anything from my, sorry, for a second. It's delayed, so sometimes I'll say something and then I'm like, what was I talking about? Okay, good. You don't hear anything from the window. And then, oh, COPD, not cold. Okay, gotcha. Oh, Tina says I could be a witch if I want to. Okay. I think it's more I want to branch out just because I need to change it up a bit. There's so many other fun things I could be. All right, I'm just wiping off a little bit of that water, going back in with some purple. Marla says, oh yeah, you have COPD and PA, and that's why you're on oxygen. Gotcha. Is that tough to have to deal with? I bet it is. Lord of the Rings character. Yes, Tina. I could be Galadriel or Arwen. Oh gosh, that would be You're making me think now, girl. You know I love the Lord of the Rings. Love. That's a great idea. You're so smart. I always wait too late, I feel like, to decide what I'm going to be. So then I just, by default, feel like I end up picking being a witch. So I just need to give myself a little bit more time to think about it. Just a little bit more time. Tina says, see, this is why, yep, send out the date so far in advance, then peeps have time to make their costumes or put them together. Absolutely. You're so smart. So smart. And is it, I mean, it's really never too early to decide what you're going to want to be. And as I said the other day, I do like to go to Ren fairs as well. I didn't dress up the last time. It was going to be so hot. So I decided not to, but it'd be fun to dress up like a little trial run for Galadriel or something like that. Oh, Marla says, I can only walk with oxygen, and that she loves Halloween, and you can be a Black Widow. That's cool. I like that. But I'm sorry you have to deal with the oxygen. At least, you know, at least it's an option, right? Black Widow would be cool. Super cool. Super duper. So I don't know if you see me like doing this a lot, I'm either wiping off water because I have too much on my brush, or I'm wiping off paint because I have too much paint on my brush. So I just kind of go back and forth. If I lay some down and I feel like it's too much and I want to spread it around or add more water, then I just dab off my brush and then I'm off to the side getting some more water, and then I can kind of spread that around a little bit or soften it if I feel like it's too dark. Tina says, yes, Ren Fair is a perfect place to try out a costume, 100%. I'm assuming you have Ren Fairs near you. I mean, you should never assume, I guess, but there's the one I go to is in Bristol, Wisconsin, which is literally right over the border, the Chicago border. I don't know where there is one in Illinois. Maybe there is one, I just haven't found it yet. And then I've also been to one in St. Louis. Let's see. Marla says, I have 24 hours a day to paint. Oh, girl, I am jealous. I feel like I never have enough time. There's just never enough time. Go back to my face for a little bit. I have to have kind of a regular job as well because I just don't make any money right now. I am for the first time actually participating in a market next Saturday where I'm actually gonna sell some artwork in person, which is exciting. I've never done that before, so hopefully I'll make some money with that. And oh, Tina says we have one. And have I seen, was that Jacques the Whipper? I have not seen that. And Pam says, do you always draw the flowers before painting them? I bought some cute flowers at Trader Joe's, but I feel overwhelmed trying to figure out where to start. I generally like to sketch them out first. That is an area that I feel like I could loosen up maybe, and I need to take some different brushes. I think I was going to make a video about this. Trying different flowers, different petals, using different brushes to see which brushes, if it's a flat brush, like a straight flat brush, or a rounded filbert brush, just different ones to try to make different petals without drawing them first. I'm more confident if I draw it first. I love people who don't. I think that's adventurous, and I have done that before, but especially for tutorials, I prefer to draw it first. That way people can follow along a little bit better. When I teach in person, I always have it drawn out for everybody so they're not overwhelmed with all that. Tina says, Marla, lucky that Tina wishes she had time for arting. Yeah, yep. And I'll have to look him up. I will look him up for sure. What was it again? Jacques Zewipper. Yes, I will look him up for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay, I'm going to go back in with just a little bit. I know it's kind of hard for you to see probably. I'm going to bring it a little closer just so you can kind of see. The lighting is always frustrating. But here we are. There we go. I'm going to go back in just a few little spots and add just a little bit. I'm going to like kind of flick my brush to add a little, like a few little lines, I guess, if you will. A little bit of texture, just kind of coming out of the center. Tina says, you met him and you'll send me a video. Perfect. And Marla says, well, just work all your life, and then when you are 67 years old, you can have time to art. I love that. That's absolutely right. Oh. Forgot to turn off my notifications. Let's see. There we go. Marla's asking, do I ever use watercolor pencils? Yes, I do. Depends on the paper I'm using. I don't love to use them with the cold press because they're very textured. Then it's depending on what I'm doing. I will. I like to use them a little bit more on like a smoother paper, especially if I'm not going to activate them, which I don't always. But I would like to use them more. I'd like to practice with them a little bit more. So I'll have to add that to my future video list for sure. Do you use them, Marla? I do like to bring it could be watercolor pencils or just regular colored pencils into watercolors just to build up more drama, contrast. Sometimes it's easier than using the watercolor all the time. Tina says she has used watercolor pencils, that you're not a big fan of them. You like to outline with them so the lines don't show. Yes, using watercolor pencils, I have done that for my drawing, and that way I don't have to necessarily outline it and it doesn't leave a harsh line. I've also used, what are they called? I've got them right here. I think. Yep. I have the Color-Race Prismacolor pencils, which I really love as well. They're sort of water soluble. You can also erase them. So those are fun to use as well if you want to try those out. I just answered that. Yes, I have used them for drawing before. Tina says, I did scribble with a bunch on a paper once and put it out in a rainstorm so it would have some extra matte. Oh, that's cool. Did you like the results of that? That sounds really neat. And Marla says, yes, drawing with them and then paint on top of them with real watercolor. Love that. Love it. Yes, I will have to do that more often for sure. Try something different. I'm always looking for, ways to branch out, stretch my skills. That's something I'm really focusing on right now. Speaking of skills and branching out, next month's Moonbeam Sketchbook Guild is Faye May. So I'll be branching out, trying to draw some fairies. We'll draw fairies, maybe fairy houses, some fairy wings. This should be Should be fun, so stay tuned for that. Oh, Marla says, cool, Tina. Yeah, that's a very cool idea. I love that. Especially if it's like a full moon rain or something like that would be kind of cool. Tina says, I should have put more color on the paper, but it was cool to like, oh, rip it up and use as background of a mirror. Oh, I like that too. How creative. Love it. Love it. See, it's so fun to hear what other people do. Get more ideas. Love that. Pam says, I've used watercolor pencils to draw for acrylic painting that you made, and it worked great. I like that idea too. I like that. It's funny, we were talking the other day about how as artists we tend to have a lot of supplies and then don't always use them. It's like, why are you buying it? Because somebody used it and it was super cool, and then I'm like, oh crap, I forgot I even have it. I have quite a few things I should break out and use. That's my goal. It's been my goal lately, is to try new supplies that I don't use all the time. Marla says, me too, I like for background. Yep, that's cool. All right, this is coming along, I think. Again, if I feel like I got too much paint on my paper, then I just rinse off my brush and then get a little bit of water and then spread it around. Tina says, I think it was the first rain of spring, and you also put a quartz crystal in your watercolor water pot and use your moon water mixed in with watercolor water to add more magic as well. Girl, that's freaking brilliant. I can't believe I never thought about that. I use moon water to make tea and like little sprays and stuff, but I never thought about using it for my art. I can't believe I never thought about that. That is so cool. So freaking cool. I knew I kept you around for a reason. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's a very cool idea. Actually made moon water tea last night. And earlier, actually. I had it when I was sitting outside. Yeah, I think it's fun to make moon water or just anything with the first of whatever. Like I had collected snow for like the first snow of the season last year, I think. Marla says, sometimes I put liquid watercolor on my small spray bottle and spray the paper for good effects. That's cool. I really like the liquid watercolor. I treat it like ink, like the liquid, the little jars of ink or whatever. I love working with ink. I think that's fun. Something different. I love how concentrated and like vibrant the colors are. Watercolor obviously is softer. It dries so much lighter, so it's fun to do projects where it's like bam in your face sometimes. Oh, Tina says, I've collected snow too. I figured. It's fun to do stuff like that. Oh, Oh, Tina's made her own alcohol inks before. Well, how'd you do that? Just like regular ink and add alcohol, or with different different pigments, like powder pigments or something like that? That's cool. That's really cool. Oh, Marla, no snow in California. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think it might be scary if there was. I watched, there's the movie I love, The Day After Tomorrow. Super cheesy, obviously, but I love Jake Gyllenhaal. And it snows and there's tornadoes and crazy stuff, obviously, which is scary. So I'm glad it doesn't snow in California because that would be very scary. Maybe in the mountains, I guess. Maybe, or I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I mean, Northern California? I don't know enough about their weather patterns. We didn't get a ton of snow this year in Illinois. It was weird. Marla asked how Tina, and Tina says, so I used markers, like Crayola markers. You take out the little ink pad thing, like the center thing, that makes sense, inside the marker and put it in alcohol and put it in a spray bottle. That's interesting. That sounds really fun to try. I'm gonna have to do that. How fun. It's fun to experiment. I love that. Okay. Marla says, part of California, yes, but not in San Diego area. Makes sense. Okay, so I'm done with the daisies. I'm going to go in and I think I'm going to go ahead and paint the little jar vasey thing. In the original one I did this blue, I don't love that, so I'm going to change it up. I think I'm still going to do a blue, but I'm going to use a little bit of a different shade. That was cobalt blue, I think, and I'm going to use Prussian blue. But I'm also going to do it wet on wet, so I'm going to get it wet and then bring in the paint so that it's not quite so like hammered in. Make it a little bit looser. And I'm going to switch to my number, it's my number 16 Princeton. I love Princeton brushes. So I'm rinsing it just to make sure I don't have another color in there. It's a good idea because I don't know how many times I've done that, where I grabbed a new brush and had forgotten to rinse it and then I slapped down some other random color. I am going to make sure that I have some stirred up here, and I'll bring that in over here. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. There we go. Oh, hi Becky, welcome, and thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. So happy that you're here. Are you working on anything today? And Pam says, Tina, I have a friend in Colorado who is also an artist. She is from Brazil too and is here in the USA more than 30 years. I can introduce you to. She is so fun and lives around Littleton. That's cool. Small world. It's so crazy how small the world is sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna get my paper wet first. Just this part down here, the rest of it's gonna be green, so like there's greenery behind. But I'm gonna get it wet with some clean water. That's so sweet of you, Pam, to connect people. I don't know how far apart. Oh, Tina says that Littleton's not far from her. She lives in Arvada. That's so cool. So with cold pressed paper, when I'm doing wet on wet, I'll usually kind of go over it twice because it's what they quote unquote thirsty paper. So it can kind of suck up the water So I always kind of go in a couple of times in order to make sure that I have enough water. You don't want it pooling, but it's like shiny on the surface, and then that's how you know that it's wet enough. Then I'm gonna wipe my brush off because my paper's already wet. And then I'm gonna go into my blue, which does have quite a bit of water. Let me turn it so you can see. There we go. I'm gonna start with just kind of a wash of it, even though I already have water on my paper, because I don't want it to be super duper dark. Of course, now that I'm looking at it, it probably looks like it's just water in the jar, which I suppose I could make it be like that. That works. And then I could just add some stems maybe when I'm done, that you could see through the jar. Tina says it's like 30 to 45 minutes. Oh, that's cool. Marla, my birthday is on Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. Which I thought for the last, I don't know, several weeks it was tomorrow, but it's actually on Tuesday. Oh, too funny. Pick up a little bit more paint. Now I'm adding a little bit more of a concentrated just around some of the areas that would be in shadow. Create a shadow down here, maybe along the side. Dab my brush off a little bit and then kind of go along that edge here just to soften that up a little bit. And I'm going to pick a little bit of that up around the edges, since I kind of decided to make it more like a jar, so that the thickness of the glass. But like I said, I'm going to be bringing in Posca, a white Posca marker, so I can put it back in. I'm a mixed media artist. I'm not a purist watercolor artist like some people, which is perfectly fine. But I like mixed media, so I can do what I want. Achieve the results I want, however I want. Marla says, happy birthday to my beautiful friend from YouTube. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. I really appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's so exciting that you're here, and it's been super nice to meet ya. Super nice. Okay, I have one green right here, but I'm gonna get another green ready and just a tiny bit of red. When you add a little bit of red to the greens, it can make it look a little bit more natural. It kind of tones it down a little bit. Pam says, how do you keep the paper wet to do all that? I feel like it dries so fast, ha ha ha. Again, it's because I make sure that I have enough water on it. I make sure that it's shiny. That way I know it's wet, and then that way I'm able to, it stays wet enough so that I'm able to add the color, and then it just bleeds and diffuses naturally. It's trial and error. Sometimes if it's not wet enough, then I just rinse my brush, and then I'll kind of go back in and wet it a little bit more, and then that can help sometimes. You don't want to fuss with it too much though, because then you can get weird like lines, harsh lines and things when you dry. It's really just trial and error, girl. That's all I can say. Pam says, oh, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna get another green and add it here. This is Deep Hooker's green. And then this one is True Green. True Green, I think. Not 100%. It was already on my palette, but I'm pretty sure it's close enough. Or, oh, nope, Yellow Green. Ooh, I'm out of Yellow Green on my palette. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna fill that up. It's a color I use quite a bit. Okay. A little bit more of that in here. And I'm gonna get the True Green ready. I filled up the True Green in my Melang set with a different paint. A different brand, and I do not like it. I need to get it out. It's kind of chalky. I ran out of the, like I have tubes of Melang as well. You can get like refills, but I ran out of it and was like needed it for a class, and I don't like it. But I digress. It'll be fine for today. And then I'm getting just a little bit of red on my brush, a little bit more, and then I'm gonna kind of stir that in. And then I usually have a piece of paper off to the side. Yeah, right here. So I can also test my colors to see if I'm happy with them, if I need to make any adjustments. That's not bad. Marla says, depends on the paper and where do I live, because here's so hot and dry, the water just runs away. I live in Illinois, and it's not super hot. It's very spring, which is just crazy because it seems so early. Like the flowers, everything's budding already. I've already done a little bit of planting. Oh, and it's so dry, the water just runs. Yeah, you might just have to add extra. I don't know. So I'm going to go in with two different greens. I'm going to start with this one. I may not like that. It might be too drastic, but I'm going to start. And I like the leaves are going to be green, and then all these little in-between areas are also going to be green because I'm just pretending like there's just greenery back behind. And like I said, I'm using my larger brush because I want to be a little bit looser with it. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to avoid the petals as much as possible. I'm going to go in and just lay down some of this green. And I'm going to work in sections so that it doesn't dry too quickly. Dab off my brush, and then I'm going to pick up some of that other color, that darker color. And again, the contrast might be too much. And I'm just touching the tip of my brush and then letting it kind of spread on its own. Adding it to the areas that would be a little bit more in shadow. And then maybe adding just a little bit along some veins. And then I'm going to leave that alone. Wipe off my brush and then do the same thing kind of around the painting, avoiding here with my hand so that I don't put my hand in it, which I've done a million times before. I forget where I worked and then I put my hand right in it. And it does depend on the paper, like you said, Marla. I don't feel like the hot pressed watercolor paper is as easy to keep damp. That's why I really do like to work on the cold pressed better. I think it's more user friendly. If you want to do layers, that's what I think. Everybody, has a different opinion, and that's totally fine. I feel like the hot pressed is better if you're just laying down paint, like one layer maybe, and then bringing in other supplies to build up the layers. At least that's kind of been my process, my experience. Marla asks, do I use shimmer watercolor? Oh, and metallics? Oh yeah, I love me some glitter, metallic, all those. Yes, I'll have to, I keep saying I'm going to do it. I need to do a video and just share some of my artwork. And I can definitely show some of the paintings I've done with metallics. That is super fun. Love, love, love. Do you like working with them, Marla? I'm all about the pizzazz, as I've said before. The shimmer and the glitter, and super fun. Tina, you like using the shimmer, don't you? The glittery. I mean, who doesn't love the glitter, I would think, but you know. Marla says, I use cold press to 100% cotton, 300 MSG. Absolutely, that's the best, and 100% cotton for sure is the way to go, especially if you're going to use layers. The other papers, if they're not 100% cotton, have other fillers like wood pulp and cellulose, I think, and things. So it's like more, it's not waxy, but it just doesn't have that. It's like more slippery or something. And Tina says, oh, are you talking about me? Her art is phenomenal. Oh, you're so sweet. And Marla says, I love it. Yes. Love, love, love the metallics and the glitter. Yes. And I'm not really doing the leaves wet on wet because I'm going in with kind of a wash of that green. So I'm just putting that down kind of as the quote unquote water layer, if you will. And I'm using a larger brush because I want to get paint down fast and I want to be looser with it. Sometimes I can be a little too rigid, which is why I love watercolor, because it forces me out of my or like kind of out of my comfort zone. It doesn't let me control it like I want to. Yep, Tina says, I love metallics. I knew you would because you like the pizzazz. Love the pizzazz. And these right here, I feel like got a little harsh, so I'm gonna go back in with that first green just a little bit and then lift off a little bit of that, like so. And I am gonna move to a smaller brush just for these little areas here, so I can try to stay a little bit more out of the petals. And this time I'm gonna go in with just the darker color first because that would all be in shadow. So I'm just gonna carefully put that in. And I think I need it to be a little bit more saturated, so I'm just gonna go straight from my paint palette. Like so, being super careful, at least trying to. Maybe add a little bit of a different green in there too, just to make it not so harsh maybe. Again, if I feel like it's too dark or I don't like it, then I just bring in a clean brush and kind of soak some of it up. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to my bigger brush for these leaves over here. Oh, I lied. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to bring a little bit of this darker green into this green. mix those up a little bit. I'm also not one of those people that has to just like use just this green. I'll like grab green, all the greens and mix them together and then just bring whatever in. Marla says, it's looking very good. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad I was able to do this today. I haven't done a flower in a hot minute. It's funny, when I started teaching on or in-person watercolor classes, which I don't do all that often anymore, people really gravitated to the flowers, the florals, and I'm like, I don't want to draw or paint flowers all the time. And then because I had to do it so often, I actually fell in love with painting them. They're fun, especially with watercolors, because you can be so much more like loose with them. It doesn't feel, because they're, you know, they're not rigid, and the quote unquote mistakes don't show up as much, I don't think. That's what I think. All right, going back in with that first green. Like so. And like I said, this is a very stylized daisy. I was not looking for exactly authentic whatever. Was it Marla or Pam? Which one of you asked me if I always draw my flowers first, because you had gotten a bouquet from Trader Joe's, which they have the best bouquets, by the way. I would suggest just spending some time just drawing them first, in general, maybe. With like a, I don't know if you ever use charcoal or just like a more of a like a 2B or 3B or something like that pencil, so and be super loose with it, just to like focus and check on the shapes. And there are some flowers I don't want to draw because they're super complicated. I'm just not interested. I think, you know, we can all kind of maybe gravitate to flowers that might be a little bit easier. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't like to branch out sometime, but some are definitely harder than others. But that would be a good start, maybe. Just a suggestion. Take it or leave it, obviously. And I'm gonna go in and add a little bit more darkness to where there'd be a little bit of a shadow, a little bit more of a shadow. Sorry about that. And then I'm gonna go in with just this clean damp brush and just soften the edge a little bit. Got a little bit of kind of bled into each other right there, but that's okay. I'll fix it later. I'm really proud of myself because I'm not flipping my paper around. If you've seen any of my videos, I'm always like turning my paper. It's because I want the tip of my brush to be at a specific angle to, you know, get the results I'm looking for a little bit easier, but I'm trying to be a little bit better at not doing that all the time because I'm sure it's annoying when you're watching. And now I'm just switching brushes to this one as it's just damp so that I'm not always rinsing out the paint that I'm using. It just saves on paint. Marla says, I see something and I try to draw something. Drawing something came out good sometimes, not, but I continue. We have to remember that it's practice, you know. I love drawing faces. Love drawing faces. It's one of my favorite things. And I've drawn enough that I actually like them most of the time. But I swear sometimes I'll finish a drawing of a face and then I'll go to draw another face at a later time, or a few days later or whatever it may be, and I can't draw it. Like, I'm like, what happened? Like, it takes me forever to get the proportions right or whatever. So I think we can all suffer or deal with that, but it's like practice, practice, practice. That's the only way we'll get better. As I've said within the last couple months, starting my sketchbook practice has been really great for me to take the time to learn different things, learn how to draw different things a little bit more, because I felt like I was always drawing the same things. Now I still, like, I've done mushrooms in my sketchbook, I've done very doodly stuff too, but I want to start branching out and drawing more complicated things, or just things that I'm not used to drawing, even if it's like furniture, or like I said, I want to draw wings, like a fairy, like a full body fairy, not just a face necessarily, or just like the torso and the face. I don't draw full bodies. When I have, it's a friggin' hot mess. It looks like it's just so bad. But how am I going to get better if I don't try it, right? Marla says, I saw your bunny and I draw my way and I like it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love, we all have our style and we all have the way we like to do things, and that's the beauty of art. That's why I love taking classes too. I mean, I belong to so many art groups and I love to take classes, and it's so fun. And when I've taught classes in person, it's so cool to see everybody's own take on something. When I've done in-person classes, of course, I've drawn it for people already, but the colors they use, the stroke of the way they paint with their brush, or if they use too much water, not enough water, which is fine. It's so cool to see how we all, can do this, create the same thing, but have them be so different. I think that's so awesome. Oh, you posted on Instagram. Fantastic. I will look that up when I am done with this. For sure, for sure. I've liked seeing the stuff you've posted already. And anybody who wants to share, you can tag me, and then I'll for sure know that you shared something. Any of your artwork. Doesn't have to be anything that has anything to do with what I've done. Like I said, it's fun to get inspiration from lots of people. I know I do. Okay. Bring in just a little bit more shadow, create a little bit more dimension. Some of those areas there. Those edges. Rinse my brush, bring it in just a little bit damp, and kind of spread that out a little bit so it's not so harsh. And then I'm gonna bring in, if I can find it, well, shoot. I have a liner, or a, what's it called? I don't know where it is right now. It's a very, very long, skinny brush. My brain's not working. I can't think of what it's called. Let's see if I had one in here. I have brushes everywhere, and then I can never find the one I want. Oh, here's some. Is this one? I haven't used these yet. I call them liner brushes. I know they're called something else too. Oh, if I can get that off. There we go. It's super, super long and skinny. That's not going to focus. I must have autofocus off. Anywho, I'm going to use this to put in, like, kind of trace over the lines I made for the veins. So I'll get it wet a little bit. A lot of times new brushes have like a little conditioner or something like that, so I give it a little rinse-a-rooski. And then I'm going to go in with this one first, see what I think. Might not be dark enough. Nope. Marla asks, do you use glitter gel pens on your work? I've never done that, but I think it sounds fabulous. I might have to try that. I use, Tina likes gel pens. I find, well, I haven't used glitter ones. That would actually be fun, and I do have some. I use Posca markers the most when I'm doing any kind of line work with my watercolors. I feel like I get the most oomph from them. They're darker, and then of course I use just regular liners, but I would definitely try the glitter gel pens. Maybe I'll do that. Well, I won't do it today because I don't know exactly where they're at. So I don't want to be searching for them during the video. But this liner, this brush is super nice just to get those super thin lines. I need a little bit more paint. Tina says, I love Jelly Roll glitter pens. I love them. Love it. I will have to see. I don't know what kind I have. But I'll definitely take a gander. There we go. And I'm gonna kind of try to fix this little spot here where it kind of bled a little bit. Rinse out my brush, and then I'm gonna go in with that blue that I already used. I'm not gonna have my brush be very damp. I'm just gonna go right on this side, straight in with that blue. Create a little bit more of a shadow, and then that's really harsh, so I don't want that. So I'm going to rinse my brush, make sure it's clean, and then get some of the water off. I don't want it to be super wet, and then I just go along the edge of where the harsh paint is, and then it will kind of diffuse naturally. That's the only way I can say it. Like so. Marla says, I don't know how to use markers on your paintings, but she loves them too, Tina. What do you mean? Like what kind of, are you talking about the Posca markers? And do you mean on watercolor paintings or acrylic paintings? Usually I only bring in like the Posca markers just for some detail work. Or I'll use Posca markers like as just like I'm making an acrylic marker drawing or painting. I did that on a past live with my Cosmic Garden. I used acrylic paints, and then I think I brought them in for my, I think I did, like it's another one. Let's see. I can never remember. Let's see. Yeah, for my Magic Mushroom page, I started with watercolor, but then I brought in acrylic markers to add a little bit more pizzazz. Wait, no, I didn't. Not on these. I used colored pencils. I did use white Posca, but that was it. But, oh, on this, my Portal, this is acrylic markers, but this is watercolor, and then I used some watercolor just like for the background and stuff, and then I brought in acrylic markers. Let me see if I used them on anything else lately. I can never remember. These are alcohol markers. And then, oh, this was technically for this past week's prompt, if you will, emergence. So technically this is supposed to be like a super stylized silly caterpillar. I'm gonna work on him, her, whatever, during Thursday's live for the coming week. I think I am gonna use acrylic markers, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he clearly, whatever, a caterpillar emerges from something, right? And then, but anyways, I thought he would be super cute to work on. I've been having fun using acrylic markers because I didn't really know how to use them very well for a while. So I wanted to branch out, learn how to use them, and I'm a lot more confident than I was. Although, again, not perfect by any means. All right, I'm gonna scooch this up. Let's see. Tina says, I made Zentangle Christmas cards, excuse me, and used the glitter gel pens on them. It was fantastic. Marla says, yes and yeah. And wow, beautiful painting. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been really fun. I've really had fun working in my sketchbook because I allow myself a little bit more freedom, right? So when I'm working on a piece of paper, like it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to ruin it. It's got to be perfect or whatever. But in my sketchbook, I allow myself to try new things and not be so rigid and freaked out about it. So it's been fun to kind of allow myself to create a sketchbook practice because I never really had one before. I have sketchbooks, obviously, where I've like worked out drawings and things like that, but nothing consistent. So that's why I kind of wanted to create the sketchbook guild, if you will, kind of keep some accountability with my tracker that I make, and yeah, just check in with myself and keep myself accountable. Okay, now I'm going to take Payne's Gray and I'm going to create a shadow so that it doesn't look like it's floating. I'm going to turn my painting a little bit here. And I'm going to start just a little bit underneath and then go over to the side. Like that. And then I'm going to rinse my brush. And I'm going to dab off a little bit of the water. And then I'm going to go right along that edge and let it kind of do its thing. And I'm going to leave the top line alone, I think. Add a little bit more here. Marla says, this is good for me to start using the markers and learning how it works. I love that. Love, love, love. And I'm just going along here to add a little bit darker, right up close or closer to the vase, the jar, whatever. Wiping that off a little bit and softening this up back here. There we go. That way it just makes it not look like it's floating. So I like that. And then, just because I want to, Marla says, thanks to you. You're welcome. I am going to grab, with my squeaky chair, a couple of white Posca markers. Shake it off first. Try not to be super loud. And I always try it off to the side first to make sure it's working. I also, if you've ever seen a video and you see my hand like that, it's because I've been checking Posca markers. Always shake them with the lid on, or you can shoot paint. I've done that before. Always be careful with that. I am going to go into the centers and put a few little white dots just for a little bit of texture. I could technically go back in with a little bit of a darker yellow and kind of turn up the contrast, but I'm not going to. Just add, I'll pull this up closer too so you can see, hopefully, the little white. It's very, very faint, and I did kind of leave a little bit of white on the paper anyways. And then I'm gonna go in, let me check that again. Get a different one. Sometimes one's a little, there we go. Well, juicier. People don't like that word, sorry. And I'm just gonna go in and do a little bit of texture this way, and it kind of break up that purple a little bit more in some of the areas if I feel like it might have got a little bit too purpley. Purpley. You know what I mean, hopefully. Just to lighten up those areas a little bit. You won't really be able to see it, but I know it's there and it's accomplishing what I'm wanting. So just lightening up that purple a little bit. Also, don't push down on the nib on your paper, or you could also release the paint and then you have a big glob. I've done that in videos before. I always leave that stuff in when I'm editing so that you guys can see how I deal with my mistakes or accidents, if you will. So you know what happens to all of us. Now, if I really, really, really want the white to stand out, I'll use, was it Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, or there's another one. It really stands up to the watercolor. Sometimes the watercolor kind of soaks in the marker. But for this, I don't need it to be like a super crazy contrast. And then let's see if I can maybe add a few little lines with the white as well. Into some of the leaves, just to add a little bit of brightness, a little highlight. Super, super loose. India ink. Yes, I love India ink. That they have a really a white one. I didn't know that. Just adding a little bit more of that white after I shook it up. Hopefully it shows up a little bit more. And then I can even kind of go along the edge so that it looks kind of like there would be a gap where the glass is for the jar. I'm not gonna, I could add like a little bit of a highlight, I guess, just to make it look like it's glass, like so. You could also paint the background if you want to. I'm not gonna do that. This video is already almost 2 hours long, so, but I've done that. Sometimes maybe I'll do a little splatter. I like me some splatter. And I'll do, maybe I'll do a little bit of the purple. Gotta love the splatter. You definitely want to make sure you have more water than paint usually, so that it's loose enough that you can splatter. And I will usually practice first on a piece of paper to make sure I like the consistency. And I just hold my brush like from the very back and then just do a little tap. You can also take another brush or a marker or something and tap it like that. Whatever your preference is. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more paint. And this is a little bit of a different shade of purple just to change it up a bit. And if you don't want to get the splatter on your actual painting or your flowers, you can just kind of cover it up, kind of block it. I'm not sure it would bother me too much, but just go along this way, do it like that. Like that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I did. I like how it turned out. Again, they might be a little more purpley than in an actual daisy, obviously. But that's okay. I wasn't looking for realistic. I have done, again, I should have had them out already. I've done daisy paintings before, so, and those are, in my watercolor section on my YouTube channel. If you ever want to check those out, you can check those out as well. I used, for one of them I painted the background and used this rubbery, oh my gosh, my brain, stuff to cover the flowers so that they stayed white. And then I just brought in a little tiny bit of Payne's Gray, I think, for the shadows. But again, I like this. I think it's fun. It's cheery, and it's for my birthday. So I like it. I like it. I like it. Marla says, perfect. I love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. So like I said before, if you ever create anything you want to share with me, tag me on Instagram. And like I said, I also am on Facebook under Moonbeam Jellyfish if you want to check that out as well. I think you should be able to post there, but I don't know if you can post photos, which is why I always say Instagram is a good place. And then of course I have a Patreon. You can check that out as well. No pressure for that. And Tina says, is the daisy the one with the glowing lights? I don't know. I don't know which one you mean, so I'm not really sure. I haven't done a daisy. I did it last year for my birth month flower series, which again, I never did October, November, or December. I need to do that. Maybe I'll finish it this year. I got so crazy with the holidays that I completely lost track of that whole thing. If you guys have any other questions for me before I kind of log off for the afternoon, I'm going to grill out for supper. So I'll get that started. It's almost 6 o'clock for me. Oh, it's a technique that looks like lightning bugs. Oh. I don't know if I've done that or not, but I like that idea. I did, for my, I don't have it right here, do I? My Solar Bloom, my girl that I was working on for the live the other day, I kind of tried to do that where she has her little glow. I'll just grab it, it's right here. Let's see. If I can get it in the camera shot. I might have to back it up a little bit, but I tried to do that kind of that little thing with the candles and the little glow orbs. I don't know if it worked, but I tried. This is what I'm working on right now. Oh my gosh, I have to zoom out a little bit here. Let's see. Oops. There we go. I don't want to hit the microphone, so I don't know if I can show it all. There we go. So I was working on that on Friday's live. And I'll probably work on that a little bit more later today, this evening. I was trying to get it done by my birthday, but it doesn't matter. I want to take my time with it so that I'm happy with it, so no worries. Tina says it was more recent than the flower series. I'll have to look that up. Oh my gosh, I create so much art. I'm like, was it in my sketchbook or was it actual painting, and was it a tutorial or a live? Because I don't remember. Everything always runs all together sometimes. And oh, I totally did it. Thank you so much with the glow. I'm assuming you're talking about. I did do the glow technique, like when I did the strawberry and the cherry. I don't have those here. I did it sort of loosely. I accomplished it in a year. I didn't do a great job on these, but I tried with the neon. Is that what you were talking about when I did the neon stuff? Oh, you think it was a tutorial? Okay, so that wouldn't be this. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'm not really sure. Oh, and Tina says she's looking so cute. Thank you so much. Oh, not that. Okay, gotcha. Well, you did say it was a flower, so that makes sense that it wouldn't be that. Yeah, right now I'm working on the bathtub on the painting I just showed you because it got a little darker than what I kind of wanted, but which is fine. So now I'm just trying to add more shadows, which will kind of make it look a little bit lighter, I guess, which is totally fine. But yeah, you'll have to find it. You'll have to let me know because I don't know. Oh my goodness, this was fun, and it was nice to do it as a live because I didn't like overthink it. And sometimes it's nice just because like an hour and a half, 2 hour, 15-minute video, whatever, I usually have recorded several hours and then I have to edit it down, so it takes a long time for just a little video to record and edit. So this was fun just to kind of make it more loose and get to hang out with you guys. For sure. And if you paint this later, like I said, feel free to tag me because I would love to see what you're working on or your version of this for sure. And I'm glad you had fun, Tina. And thank you everyone who showed up today and commented. And even if you didn't comment, I'm glad you were here. And if you watch this in the replay, I hope you have a good time. And again, I appreciate you showing up. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe and always comment and say hello. Let me know who you are, where you are. I would love that. And yeah, I'm glad that we had this moment to just kind of chill out and connect. So I hope that you all have the best rest of your day. And as always, stay luminous and keep creating magic. And Marla says, oh, thanks for the opportunity to see me paint. Thank you so much. I'm super glad that you were here and got to take the time with me. So I will be back on Thursday for the live, and I will be posting some stuff on Patreon as well if anybody wants to check that out. No pressure. So I will see you guys very soon. Okay,